Friends, I'm not gonna lie to you. After what happened in our last tape, you could say I was more than just a bit worried. My best mate was sick from magic poisoning. Zero Day went with me to look for the source, and boy did we find it. Turns out, the Fairy King threw open the doors of the Never Never because he wanted to drag them all home with him. But if Zero's telling me the truth, that would spell the end of all the pixies.
Excuse me, the royal stick in the mud wants to do what now?
King Oberon wants to bring you all home. I'm so excited.
About that. That's not gonna work out so well for us. The portal back there is spewing an energy fountain, and we need to shut it down.
Oh, only King Oberon can shut that down.
I'm not understanding why you would want it to go away.
The king said it would help all of you find your way home.
Excuse me, but I'm a little confused here. This king of yours, he shut the pixies out, yeah?
Yes, that's right. We were all terribly upset by that.
They were upset.
Shut up. And if I'm understanding right, no pixie has ever been here.
Still correct. It's a tragedy. Having pixies around would have made this place much more lively. They know all the best games and tell such incredible stories and jokes.
And their pranks are marvelously funny. Most fairies are far too dry, and we didn't travel very far before we came here.
And some of the older ones are just terrible gossips.
I'm sure. Now, here's what I'm having a hard time putting together. If they've never been here, and they got locked out before they could even see it, how is it home?
Oh, Zero Day. You do know how to pick funny humans.
Not my human.
Come on, Zero. Maybe we should go see this king of yours and give him a laugh.
Not my king.
Oh, what an excellent idea.
Yes, wonderful. I'm sure he's forgiven you by now. This way.
Yeah, come on, Zero. This way.
You embarrass me.
Don't be so gloomy. The fairies haven't seen your adorable face in ages. We can't deprive them of that. It would be cruel.
It really would be.
I agree.
See? They need that natural, bubbly sunshine of yours.
Sunshine. Right. You can go kiss a lawnmower.
Come on, keep up, Mr. Turtle Wings.
You took a surname too? Oh, we should do that.
Ugh.
Looking back, I might have been overdoing it a bit. Zero goes back to his hard-to-read self, and I'm not sure if he's panicking or getting frustrated or trying to come up with some kind of plan to rob me blind later. Probably deserve it. Me? I have a small bit of a start of a plan trying to take shape. Sort of. 12% of a plan. But I need the Prat to get his head back in the game. I turn to Zero, and for a moment he gives me the dirtiest stink eye I ever did see. It takes all my willpower not to indulge in a moment of satisfaction.
What do you want?
I'm thinking it's time we play one of your games.
I have a million games. You're gonna have to be more specific.
Let's start with Zero's 20 questions.
Seriously, Wobbles, what makes you think you could keep up?
Not sure I can, but I think it's time I give it a go.
You're losing already, you know.
I figured, but I need to practice before the royal pain gets in on it.
I'm listening.
I figure if having a proper chat doesn't work out, we're about to have another player, and it would be nice to know the rules of the next game.
Oh. I think their best bet here is cards.
Cards?
Yeah, cards. You keep saying you've got an ace up your sleeve. We'll need a cheat if we're gonna win for sure. So, I'll shuffle, got it? While you see if you can't draw that ace.
What's the backup game?
52 card pickup and hope for the best.
Doesn't fill me with confidence.
I know, but it's either that or we blow up the whole deck. So, do you get it yet?
Give me a minute, Zero.
How about now?
That wasn't even 5 seconds.
You wanted to play the game.
It would be a lot easier to figure out if you weren't staring at me. Seriously, you're creeping me out.
I'll stop staring when that hamster you call a brain gets the wheel moving.
Hamster wheel? That's the best you can come up with?
Didn't think you'd understand anything fancier.
Huh. You know, I think I get it.
Great! Now, I should probably explain the blue penguin.
Eventually, we come to either the edge of the forest or a massive clearing. I can't tell for sure because blocking my view is a huge castle with walls made of trees grown so tight together they're practically the same one.
Hail, and well met.
So serious. Look who's come home first, and he's got a new name.
A new name? But the old one was adorable. Oh, but where are my manners? Welcome home.
Zero Day, the king is going to be so pleased to see you.
Yeah, that's not likely.
So quick with the jokes.
Oh dear, I think your friend may be, well, too tall.
Oh dear, you're right.
I can open the gates, but I fear it won't be terribly comfortable inside.
I have an idea. We'll go in and ask His Majesty to come out and see you. Wait here.
Too tall? Not something anyone's ever said about me before, outside of a fast food restaurant playground anyway. So, King's not going to be happy. What'd you do?
Nanya?
Ashen hells. So you're going to get me and Threadripper and all the other pixies wrapped up in your mess, but it's none of anyone's business?
That's a low blow, even from you, Valentine. But you want to know what happened? Fine, I pulled a few pranks. How was I supposed to know he'd take it out on all of us?
Uh-huh.
It's the truth!
I suppose next you're going to try and sell me a bridge.
Of course not! I happen to like my bridge. Wait, how do you know about my bridge?
Ha. Ha. Now there was something said about a curse. What's going on there?
You know, you have a knack for asking questions I can't answer.
Not my fault you don't know to talk straight.
Ask Anne.
Well, you're right here.
Jeez, Wiggly. Read some old bedtime stories or something. These things have weird rules. And even if I flew through all the loopholes, you still wouldn't get it. So trust me. Ask Anne.
Alright. I don't look now, but I think your pal is here. Huh. He doesn't look like the others at all.
Didn't you hear my hint about that earlier?
I wasn't expecting 3 feet and wingless.
Doesn't need the wings. Besides, he hates me. He wouldn't want to look anything like us pixies for that reason alone.
Is there anyone from your past that doesn't hate you?
Shut up, Wobbles. It's time to play.
You.
Hey, Ron John, miss me?
I finally allow you into my realm, and the first thing you do is disrespect me by requesting I come to you. I am far from impressed. My subjects have told me you go by Zero Day now.
Okay, not entirely accurate. But yeah, I took a liking to the name. Anyway, how's Tina? Still got a thing for...
Silence! You will not mock my queen.
Sure I will.
With all due respect, your kinginess, I'm pretty sure mockery is his sign of affection.
And who are you, mortal? A mere human crossing into my realm with this gremlin?
Of course I came with him. My name's Valentine. I'm his best mate. You can tell by how many names he's got for me, isn't that right, Zero?
What? Oh, so right, it makes me want to hurl.
I don't know what your purpose is here, but you are not welcome.
Ouch. Seems an awful rude reception after you put your invitation practically in my backyard.
Definitely rude. I should know, I'm an expert.
Too right. An absolute pest and a scourge.
I'm flattered, really.
You know what else is rude? Borrowing things and not bringing them back.
I know.
And laughing at someone for getting caught up in a hedge witch's stupid revenge plot.
Too true.
And running up the electricity bill because you got permission to charge your phone once.
I'll have to do that one again.
You try my patience. The both of you. What is it you want?
Well, Lord High Fairy, there's a bit of a problem. That invite you dumped on us is making an awful lot of pixies sick. We need you to shut it down.
You think I'm going to fall for that ruse? I have one of their own before my eyes.
I'm different and you know it. You made sure of that.
Enough. I have humored you and granted you an audience. Either tell me your real purpose or be gone.
You gotta shut it down, Soggy Bear. You know we're hard to keep down, and this could wipe out huge chunks of us, maybe all the others. I know you don't actually want us here, so leave us alone.
Lies. This is not a matter of whether I want your presence. Those loyal to me have begged for it, and they shall be rewarded.
Pixies are not your playthings. We're not answering the call of a wash-up, narcissistic has-been.
You will show me respect. Your kind will come home, and all my children will swear loyalty and obedience.
It's the wrong thing to say. As I back away, I see the pesky runt's face turn stony. He tilts his head and runs a thumb up his ear across his piercings, gathering bits of sparking magic like a tiny ball of lightning. He looks at it almost idly for a moment before looking back at Oberon. It seems like he's about to start our grand shuffle, and I've got to get ready for my part.
Okay, let me set this straight. You left us to fend for ourselves for thousands of years. No guidance, no support, no nothing. Then all of a sudden, we're supposed to be your faithful subjects.
I offered your kin a place in my kingdom in exchange for loyalty, and you made a mockery of me.
What did you expect? You bit off more than you could chew, so you made all the pixies pay. You took everything from us, our magic, our memories, our names. You destroyed us, and I'm not letting that happen again. You are not our king. This is not our home. We are not your kids.
I will not be disrespected.
Go like a 9-volt, you obsolete bragging noob. Your mama saves to floppy disks.
Was that an insult?
Brownies and Fairiekin, he does have a brain.
0 Day, you sniveling little...
0 Day's face twists in anger. He flings his little ball of static at the ground, and it explodes in a burst of sparks and glowing green smoke. The vapor seems to divide itself, and suddenly there's dozens of copies of the pixie flying around.
You still want to try dragging us back? I've made friends who ain't gonna like that. Let me tell you all about them.
I won't be tricked by your illusions.
Oh, right. Illusions. Let's go with that. I hope you don't mind a hug from an illusion of my pal Riza. Careful, she bites.
As I start preparing a ritual, all those 0 Day copies start transforming. I spy Riza's ferret body, Flack dressed in full Viking armor, Threadripper, of course her, GD, Nyx, even Madeline. There's some other locals that I recognize, but a lot more I doubt I'll ever meet. All of them tinge the green that usually comes with Zero's magic. As each one takes form, they stride forward with a look of fury. The first one, the giant ferret, manages a clean blow, catching Oberon off guard. Apparently, these visions are more solid than they appear.
Let me tell you a little story, Barry. It's got a legendary pirate born too loud, too early, in a world too small. There's a Viking who made sure he was the scariest thing in the room, so the weakest would have a fighting chance. Then there's the witch. Oh, I know you remember her. Bloodline's still around, and so is her magic.
How are you doing this? You shouldn't be capable of magic like this.
Yeah, it turns out, when your magic starts, you get really good at finding ways to amp it up and make it more efficient. Thanks for that, you old goat. Now close the gate and stop poisoning my family.
You hyperbolical wretch. The only poison here is your lies. I will have my subjects.
It's a little hard to see what happens after that. Oberon makes a gesture, and a ball of solid magic goes flying at 0 Day, who vanishes with a poof. An illusion. I have no idea where the real 0 Day is. All those figures he summoned up crowd around trying to make a swipe at the Fairy King. Some connect, most get narrowly avoided. He hurls spells at each one and some vanish from the blow. The spells keep coming, and new figures keep popping up to take the place of the one that was destroyed. Of course, the only one that doesn't jump right in is the one that looks like Threadripper, keeping her distance and hurling spell after spell. I guess Zero can't stand to see her get hurt, even a fake version. Eventually, the new figures slow down. Looks like Zero's running out of steam. My ritual is ready. I pull the murder buzz from my pocket, pop it open, and take a huge gulp of the bubblegum-flavored abomination. Time to bring in the heavy hitter. Alright, Anne, I have no idea if you can hear through this thing, but I hope you're ready for a fight.
You miserable cur. You thought you could best me in my own realm? This plane is mine to command. I could keep going for ages, but I could tell by your spells you're exhausted. What chance did you think you had of winning this fight? Show yourself.
Error 404. Pixie not found. Never expected to win on my own, but I think you forgot I didn't come here alone.
The human? A mage? No.
Come on out, Anne. We need you to join the party. In front of me is a scrap of paper with a drawing I'll admit is a bit embarrassing. I was in a bit of a rush, and only Anne would ever know what it looked like anyway. I mutter the words she told me to only ever use in an emergency, and I dump a splash of murder buzz on the page. The ink instantly begins to run, and I push the tiniest bit of magic from the Muse tattoo into it. As the energy of the ritual begins to swirl, I see her form begin to appear. It's like a time-lapse of the air itself getting tattooed, compacted into a few seconds.
I'm glad I put on my dancing shoes. Fingal, I need you to keep that ritual activated.
Right, keep the connection to the crossing open.
Oberon, King of the Fairies and Master of Underleaf on Wall.
Lady of human arts. You have no place here.
I'm afraid you're wrong there. This man here wears my ink, and he has called on me. Fingal, isn't there some kind of boon you need to ask me for?
Too right. Anne, would you kindly knock this bully down a peg or two?
Gladly.
I've never actually seen Anne fight before. I knew she was capable, but actually seeing it with my own eyes is something else. Inky lines flow out of the sleeves of her hoodie like whips to strike at Oberon. Zero's trying to help from somewhere as she builds momentum, but Oberon is getting the better of them now. Anne hasn't built up steam yet, and the pixie's power is fading fast. And then I see it. Cracks start to appear on her face, and some kind of light starts to shine from them.
Surrender! Give up now if you wish to save that form. You know you'll be trapped here. Without a mortal form, your shrine can't pull you back from another realm. Without your shrine, you'll lose your power. Leave while you can, little goddess.
You know she's taller than you. Whoa!
You don't know all the tricks we have up our sleeves. I know what you're trying to do, and I can't allow it. The pixies are friends of mine, and those I protect. I will not back down.
All I can do is watch as Anne flings spells and seems to dissolve into those cracks. As she becomes nothing but a figure made of light, everything that was on her burns away, leaving nothing but ash. Her form starts to grow and mutate into something terrible and mesmerizing. Her arms divide to give her an extra set, and her head elongates to allow for several extra sets of glowing blue eyes. Impossible, knobbly wings sprout from her back just before her skin solidifies into something purplish and smooth as stone. It takes me a moment to realize the illusion of Threadripper is suddenly next to me, wide-eyed, enthralled with Anne's new form, and chugging what's left of my murder bus.
Isn't she terrifying?
Zero Day?
Yes?
That's where you were hiding.
What? Oh, yeah. I better shed the disguise.
Should you be helping her? She's doing this to save your friends.
I am helping.
By stealing my drink? Shouldn't this place be charging your battery or something already?
A battery with nothing left takes time to recharge. If we're gonna save her, we can't wait for the tank to refill itself.
What do you mean, save her?
Did you not just see what happened? That gorgeous holy terror came from inside her. She had to burn off her mortal form to let it out. We don't finish this fast, we won't be able to get her back. I'm not letting her get stuck here for who knows how long.
I'm stuck here keeping the ritual going. What am I supposed to do?
Drop it.
Drop it? Are you bleeding mad? Have you completely lost it?
I said drop it. Mortal form is gone. The crossing's connection is gonna fade soon, and then she'll be running on whatever she's got left. We gotta use what's here.
I've got a limited supply of ink, and you've got an empty magic pool.
And half a murder buzz.
And that. What are we supposed to do with it? Join in the attack?
Nope, better.
Zero digs into his hoodie pocket, and I find myself briefly wondering how much stuff he still has in there. With a triumphant grin, he pulls out an all-too-familiar cable and starts attaching it to another one. He starts clipping strange connectors to the piercings in his ears, and then turns to look at me. You cannot be serious.
Completely serious. Hold still.
Ow! Wait, stop! Ow!
Thinking.
You're not using me as a battery.
Couldn't if I wanted to. Don't have Ant's permission. Can't use that other gross abyssal stuff either. It would rip this place apart and take us with it. No, Valentine, if you're gonna play the part of the hero, we're gonna have to amp you up! Use it, Wobbles. Channel it, cast it, I don't care, just use it now!
The little trog sits on my shoulder like a demented parrot and starts to spark like my orange rat tattoo. I expect a massive shock, but instead feel all my tattoos almost begin to burn with power. I think fast. Anna's already given everything she's got. She's beaten back Oberon, but he looks like he's about to get a second wind. I call up as many tattoos as will respond and fire everything at the pompous fairy in a swirl of ice and wind and electricity. It knocks him down, and Anne pins him to the ground in a flash, somehow burying his hands and feet into the ground without batting an eye. I start to run over before Zero suddenly yanks at my ear. Why'd you just leave my ears alone already?
Gotta save Anne first. Over there.
No, she's over there.
I can see that that's not where I need to be. I need to be there.
Fine. I don't get it, but fine. Now what?
Get your healer tattoo, whatever, ready. You're only gonna have a second. I don't have enough in me to rewind her any further.
He doesn't even give me a chance to ask what he's talking about before he makes a gesture. His face screws up like he's constipated, and the sputtering green energy starts to pull bits of ash together. Ever so slowly, they begin to form the shape of a woman. I take Zero from my shoulder and set him on the ground more carefully than I normally would have, so I can pull off my coat to place over her. The alien-looking thing Anne had become looks over at me and nods before she becomes a little ball of light and drifts into the form before me. The moment the glow stops, I can see what Zero meant. She's only barely holding together. I pull the remaining energy and use what feels like all the magic in the tattoo to finish binding her together. Zero Day, meanwhile, is completely wiped out. He's on his feet, and even then only just. He sways a little where he stands, so I pick him back up and drape him over my shoulder before I scoop up the unconscious goddess.
Good job, Wobbles.
Thanks? What, no snark? No backhand to that?
No energy for it. Probably gonna be wiped out for a week.
You cretins. Release me.
It's like he doesn't know when to quit.
No kidding. Could you bring me a little closer? Thanks. Hey, Scadobo, guess what? You lost. I'm willing to make a deal with you, though.
A bargain? What kind of fool do you take me for?
The kind who doesn't have a choice. Since we won, it's only fair this is a little off balance. So, you shut down that energy fountain, and we'll go home. Soon as we're out of here, you seal yourself in again and leave us pixies alone. We're more than what you left behind. We don't need you. And if you ever try to drag us in here again, I sure as solid state will make you regret it.
I suggest you take the Pixies deal. Sounds pretty good to me.
Fine. Agreed. Now free me and get out of my sight.
You know, Zero, normally I would be in favor of something like that, but, well, I don't think that was part of your agreement. Besides, my hands are full.
For one, I think we're on the same page.
You can't do this.
Call for a fairy who cares. Toodles.
Valentine, don't tell anybody about this, okay? The other pixies find out about this, and they'll tear me apart.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be that N-type pucker, would you?
No, I really wouldn't.
Oi, before we go back, I got one more question.
Don't expect an answer.
You just led a fight against a king and won, yeah?
Yeah? What?
By medieval rules. Doesn't that mean you're king now?
Shut up. No, it doesn't. I refuse. What kind of sick joke is that? I demand a lawyer. I know my rights.
I start to gear myself up for a long walk when the scenery shifts around us. One moment I'm walking through a forest, the next I'm suddenly walking across Ann's shop. I guess the crossing decided to pull her back. There's not a lot of places I can put her, but I find somewhere that looks relatively comfortable. There's a convenient blanket nearby and I drape it over her. I leave my duster wrapped around her. I figure it won't mind too much. I'll come back for it when I can. With Anne safe and sound, I bring Zero home with me. I don't exactly know where he lives, and someone's got to look after him while he recovers from it. Might as well be Threadripper. What? It's not like I know how to take care of a sick pixie. When we arrive, she's already up and flitting around the office in a tizzy.
Valentine, you're back. Zero, why are you on Valentine's shoulder? Val, what did he get himself into?
Wait, his signal's getting closer. It's practically on top of us.
Threadripper, we think we found him. Oh, right. He's here already. Pack it in. Valentine found him.
Do we still get that favor?
Not so much.
Aw, man.
Hey, at least we get a murder buzz out of this.
No, really, where did you go? Zero, your bracelet was pinging me with all kinds of warnings.
It was something making a bunch of you lot sick. We went looking for the cause. Found it too.
What do you mean sick? Takes a lot to get a pixie sick. What was it?
Long, messy story, love. Basically, contaminated energy. Zero got a bit too close and gave himself the equivalent of the human man flu. Probably can't take care of himself with anything.
I hate you so much. Zero? You should be more careful. Valentine, put him here. I'll take care of him. I'm fine, Thread, really. Which is exactly why you let Valentine carry you, right? No, you don't try to get up. You stay right there. Thread! I swear, it's like you forget your limits sometimes. You don't have a fever, do you? Oh, come on, Thread, I'm okay. You smell like magic dust. Zero!
As Threadripper fusses over Zero Day, I grin at the blush that creeps up his face. At least until his scowl melts away and he gives me a wicked grin back. And I suddenly realise I just invited the pest to be my roommate for a week. I regret everything already. But with Threadripper keeping an eye on him, I excuse myself and go back to the crossing. Anne, you up?
Yes, I'm awake. I'm going to be feeling that adventure for a while. Thank you for loaning me the jacket.
Didn't want things to end up awkward. I'm sorry Zero couldn't get your hoodie back. I know it was your favourite.
It's not your fault. However, if Oberon ever shows his face here, I'll take the cost of a new one out of his hide.
I see you're feeling a bit feisty.
I suppose it's the result of using the true spark.
So that's what that was. Well, I'm glad you're alright.
Thank you, Finkel.
Hey, since I'm here, I heard some things about a curse. Zero didn't want to tell me anything, but he did say I should ask you.
Is that so? That's an interesting development.
Don't you go playing his games on me, love. My brain is already upside down from spending that much time with him.
No games this time. You know how he loves to hear his own voice. If he could explain it, I'm sure he would have a long time ago.
If he can't talk about it, I guess that means you don't know much either.
Considering I'm technically a goddess, turns out there's a loophole in the rules concerning souls.
As horrible as the Trog is, he's clever sometimes.
I'll tell you what I'm able, but there are some pieces you'll have to put together on your own.
Oh, there's a reason I'm a PI. I'm up for the challenge.
The history of the Pixies goes back much further than they know. while the world's pixies were cursed to forget. 0 Day's part in it is to remember. He can't tell a soul what the curse is, and any soul who tells the pixies the truth won't be believed.
But what's supposed to break the curse?
You'll need to figure that out on your own. But Fingal, remember this. Every choice has a cost, every action has a price. Zero is going to be feeling the loss of magic for a long time. I'm sure he knew that going in there. I know that you want to break it for Threadripper, your best friend, but what will it cost? Even a goddess is not exempt from paying that price.
I guess I'm in luck then, because I got nothing to lose. When the fates come looking to collect, I'll turn out my pockets and bow.
And Threadripper? You may be willing, but that doesn't mean you'll be the only one to pay.
I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Until then, I have just enough for 2 pints at O'Hanlon's. Care to join?
Okay, but the first round is on me.
You know what? This could be the middle of a beautiful friendship.
You have been listening to the Graveyard Tapes, Fairiegate, Part 2. Written by Angela Dumoulin. Edited by Aidan Morgan, James Nichols, and Nikki Ewart. Engineered and produced by Miguel Diaz. With the voices of Chase Hunter as Valentine, Angela Dumoulin as 0 Day, Rick the Whitebird as Threadripper, Fenway Jones as Anne, Brianna Jean, Christine Byerly, and Delan Morgan as Fairies 1, 2, and 3. Robin as Oberon, Maxine Bachman as Coax, and Corey as Stepper.
You know she's taller than you, right? Whoa! Zap. Voiceover. See, you're feeling a bit feisty. Which is exactly why you let Valentine. That's great. I swear, it's like you forgot your limits Forget. Yeah. Need to make this even bigger. My eyes. It's a good thing I brought my dancing shoes.